Can I get a Indiarnold-Palmer? Thank you. I love seeing that. I don't know, I just love seeing that. Yeah, today is like today. Today we really about to get into it. I hate having my hair like this because it's like it's so tight. But basically, I just want to talk about, because I feel like a lot of the time we get into the girl talks, I feel like it's time to get into the nitty gritty, because I feel like we've been like hovering over the nitty gritty, because maybe like some people in the circle didn't really want to get into it, didn't really want to express what they was feeling for real, didn't really want to share they deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and be the first one to do it, because I feel like if one person get into the icebreaker and start breaking the ice, then everybody else just gonna follow suit and just, you know, share their side. So that's what I'm doing. But without further ado, let's get into the video, because we gotta talk about it. Let's talk about it. We got stuff we need to talk about, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Sometimes the crush out is very needed. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that if you feel like you about to do something crazy and you just be like, oh, I'm gonna just do it for the plot. Like, I'm not talking about doing it for the plot, because that's what y'all get in trouble at. That's where y'all start to like lose the plot. When you trying to do it for the plot, that's when you lose the plot. Because if you really doing it for the plot, then you don't gotta say you doing it for the plot. You know what I mean? You get it? 3 years ago, somewhere around that time, I was dating this person, and around this time I was going into my senior year, and I was going into my senior year and they was going into college. So boom, I felt like mind you, looking back on it now, the relationship was real toxic, like real deal toxic. Like it is like sometimes you don't know, like, because in my head I'm like, we're so healthy, like we don't be doing all that stuff. We so demure, like we so healthy. When that was like the farthest from the truth. Looking back, like I had to really, like, after really the situation had died down and I had got over it and got out of my little feelings and stuff, I was like, oh, we was toxic. And it's like the type of toxic where you don't know that it's toxic, or you like convince yourself that it's not toxic. Because if I'm not a toxic person. I don't be doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it was very toxic. Because if it's not toxic, why you crying damn near every day? Why you can't go a week without crying? Why you argue? So you always argue. Why y'all always arguing if it ain't toxic? What y'all arguing about if y'all ain't toxic? Like, but nevertheless, in the midst of it, it was toxic. So I was like, okay, you know, you going into college, I'm going to my senior year. In my head, like, I'm like, we really getting into the thick of it, to the point where like we didn't even get like what, damn, 2 years at this point. So in my head, I'm like, this is getting bad. Like, I'm in my feelings bad. I'm feeling depressed. Mind you, I'm on all types of, like, it was just bad all around for a lot of reasons that I'm not gonna get into. So I'm like, okay, this like really needs to stop. So I'm to the point where, okay, we need to end this before you go to college. Cause like if you go to college and we try to end it, it's gonna be a mess. So that's what my head was. And they was like, nah. And I took that as like, if you say nah, then it's like, okay, what can I do? You know what I mean? When I should have took that as my sign to get the fuck. I'm sorry y'all for cussing. But yeah, so, and mind you, all it took was, and I'm telling this story even though it happened so long ago, because that one time set the precedent for all my future relationships. Like, I didn't have to go through that 2, 3, 4, 5 different times with 2, 3, 4, 5 different people in order to learn a lesson. I learned my lesson, never went through it again, ever. Mind you, I never really took somebody serious for real again at that. But even when I do like go into situations, cause like I say serious on my end because like I be real detached when it comes to people now. And I feel like that's kind of how you gotta navigate through your relationships when you young, because like trying to go in too deep and you so attached to each person you like talk to, I feel like that's just a emotional disaster, and you set yourself up for failure. Because how can you ever get something done if you so emotionally attached to people? You need to be emotionally attached to yourself. Clock it. Anywho, and I know like y'all, you in a relationship and you in love. I'm not saying that you like, if you're in a relationship and you in love and you love your person, I'm not saying that you need to like detach yourself from them. But if you find yourself, if that's the only person you talk to every day, if that's the only person you do any and everything with, and you think it's cute to be like, oh, I don't have no friends, I just hang around with my boyfriend all day and we just go on dates every single day and we go out to eat and we talk about nothing because we done talked about everything, so we just sit at the table and be quiet and eat our food. Like you make jokes about it and you think that's cute. And I'm saying that because I be seeing y'all on TikTok and y'all make jokes about it and y'all think that's cute. It's not cute. It's not. And that's why the stuff that be happening because y'all don't got nothing else going on. If you're in a relationship and you got nothing to talk about, you need to check that out. You need to check that out. Because that means you don't have a life. That literally means you do not have a life outside of that person. And to not have a life outside of yourself means you're not living your own life. So it's like, you like, and that goes for the both of you. I'm not saying like just you putting all the blame on you, but it's like a lot of women let the other person dictate the relationship. And even if like both of y'all are women, sometimes just energy, the more masculine person, y'all let that person dictate the relationship. If they don't have no friends, if they just want to hang out every day, if they just want to be up under me, then you gonna be up under them. If they want to like be out all the time and do this, all this, you feel like, and they don't want you out, then you feel like you just gotta be inside the house, a stay-at-home girlfriend. And it's like, I mean, if that's the life you want to live, if you gonna die happy living that life, you know, cool. But why waste a significant part of your life on somebody else? Like, you've been with this person since you was 19, you going on 25, y'all just broke up, been together, what, 4 years, 5 years, and then now all your friends got different lives, they're across states, you got to make new friends, you feel lonely, and that's the reason you kept going back to him in the first place, because you felt lonely. Because anytime you tried to break up, you realized you ain't had no friends, you ain't had nobody to talk to, you was all by your lonely, you felt isolated, and you felt like that was the only person you could go to. And you feel like that's your person. You feel like y'all know each other so well. Y'all just each other peace. That's the only person you can go to because you just shut everybody else out. Like, what type of sense does that make? So before even trying to go talk to new friends, before even trying to go out into the world, make new friends, go through new experience, sit with yourself. That be y'all problem. Y'all don't know yourself. Y'all don't spend time with yourself. Y'all don't love yourself. And you don't love yourself because you don't know yourself. How you gonna love somebody you don't know? It's easy to be like, love yourself, love on yourself, pour into yourself. But how you gonna love and pour into somebody you don't know? Because like, the same way the person in you is in you, but that you also got to look at that person as somebody outside of yourself. You are a person yourself. So take that minute to go look in a reflection. Look, like when you look in the mirror, you basically feeling like you talking to a whole nother person, right? Get to know that person, not just, oh, what's your favorite color? Half y'all don't even know that. But anyway, what's your hobby? Can you answer your favorite hobby? Can you answer something that interests you that you don't have to do with other people? And that's a true hobby, something that you like to do, that you enjoy doing regardless of whoever want to do it with you. If you like going on hikes and you text your friend and be like, y'all want to go on a hike today? And they be like, nah, girl, who the fuck, girl, what? And you be like, okay. And you pack your bags, you pack your thermos, your water cup, you bring your backpack, and you go by yourself and you enjoy your time. You got your speaker, you vibes, and you enjoy with yourself. Get to know the person that you want to love. Just like you go into a relationship with a man, woman, whoever, and or you have a new friendship that you get to know, and you get to know the girl and you scope her out, what she likes to do, yada yada yada. You spending time with her, you get to know her. Get to know yourself. How you gonna love somebody you don't know? That doesn't make any sense at all. But stepping into what I was stepping into, that's where I was like, I let that person dictate where we went in our relationship, to the point where when they did decide they wanted to end it, oh, the whole world was burning for me. Because I was like, I tried to do this for myself, but because you didn't allow me to, now we're in deeper. And now that you want to end it for yourself, it's fucking me up. And it fucked me up bad. And you know, I did what I had to do. I took that crash out moment, and I don't know if I would, hey, I went far. I went far. Now that I think about it, I did go far. Kinda a little bit, yeah. But in the moment, I felt like in the moment, I felt like it was gonna fix it. I really did. I felt like it was gonna fix it. I felt like if I do this, if I crash out, if I go this far, if I take the extra mile, it will fix it. We can work on our relationship. We can, like, you know, build from the ground up, start over, clean slate. That's not what happened. It created so much emotional distress for me that I was fucked up for a very long time. When I tell you, to the point where my whole senior year was like I'm literally, because I didn't move to a new school at this point, because I didn't want to be around the people at my other school, because I knew like they would just go bring up everything, because that's the school we went to together. So I was like, yeah, no. And I was just like, I was just in my bubble. I really didn't talk to nobody. I did my work, went home, and this and the third. I feel like towards like the second semester, I did start to get a little more open. You know, I was like, everything was kind of really coming to fresh air, like, for me, and I was just like being cool. But because like I feel like after around Christmas, I realized, yeah, this is not gonna, this over with. And that's when I started to, like, I wasn't fully back, but I feel like I wasted a good part of my time, my years, my experiences, just being sad and being depressed and being like all these things. And I was just like, you know what, and that's okay. I needed that, I really did. And on the crash out portion, after I had did it, like even like that whole night after, I didn't regret it, only because it made me see things much more clear. Like without that point, without doing that, I probably would have still been like, but that's because I had never gone to that point before. If you were the type of person to get to that point over and over again, and you still don't get no clarity after that, after you crash out, after you go that extra mile and they show you who they are, because that's what it took for me. I had to crash out so she could really show me who she is, because she was I had to crash out because so they I said it. Bleed, bleed, bleed. But I had to crash out so they could really show me who they was, because they was like, they was being, of course they was being disrespectful, they was being rude, they was being mean. But I was in so deep to the point where I was just like, it could be worked out. It could be reconciled. We could work this out. to the point where I was just like, we got to really talk about this. We really got to work through this. So I was like, okay, we got to do this. And once we did it, it got like, it got hectic, it got crazy, it got bad. I was just like, I was in distraught. Like, I couldn't believe that this had happened. Like, us? For real? And that's what made me realize how toxic it was. That's what made me realize, oh, this is bad. That's what made me realize, oh, this is crazy. Like, we really just did that. So when it happened, I was like, okay, that was something. But it took that, like, it took that moment for me to be like, this is unhealthy. This is beyond bad. Like, this is beyond bad. To the point where it's like, it's not even salvageable anymore. And I knew that. I knew that. And of course, like, we talked a little bit after that, but it wasn't nothing crazy. But I knew that, like, yeah, this isn't even salvageable anymore. So it had to go. It had to go to the point where I was like, okay, when I finally did, like, get out my feelings and like really just think about everything that had just happened, I was glad that I did do that. Not because I just like wanted to be like a crazy bitch, but because for the person to show me where they was, and for the person to go that point with me, for us to really having to get there, it showed me not only who they was, but what they could bring out of me and what they could bring me to. And I didn't like that point. I didn't like that side of me. I feel like if you can bring that out of me, if you can show me that side of myself, because every who you are with the person, and this is why you may like a certain person or you may not like a certain person, because they showing you who you are. Everybody in your life is a reflection of you. So if you going at it with somebody and they bringing out this like vicious, nasty, evil part of you, and you decide you don't like that about yourself, leave. That's the point where it's time to leave. and that's what made me realize, yeah, I don't like this. And so, yeah, no. And that's why I said it set the precedent for my future relationships, because it's like anytime a person triggers me, and it's not to the point where I ignore it, because just like, okay, recently I was with somebody and they triggered me to the point where I was like, why am I feeling this way? Like, it wasn't a certain way I was necessarily acting, but it was like I was kind of like a little sad, or I was being anxiously attached, and I was like, this isn't really me. Like, why am I feeling this way? Like, it's me, but I don't like this. Like, I don't feel okay with this. Like, why is this person bringing this side out of me when I know I don't really like this person that much? Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't really like this person that much. There's not really nothing there. Like, we're not deeply like connected in any way, but why are they bringing this side out of me? And it was because I would say I have a father wound that was neglected and unhealed. And once I realized that, I paid attention to it. I journaled. I kind of just expressed myself and kind of wrote about it and figured out what was going on. I wrote a song about it, and I'm not gonna tell y'all when it's coming out, but I'm gonna tell y'all when it's coming out, when it get closer to when it's coming out. But it's titled Father Wound, and it just brought a lot of clarity to me. And so that's what I say when sometimes a relationship just needs to serve its purpose. Like, when a crash out is needed for them to show you that part of yourself, for you to identify what that is and then fix it, work on it. And that's when I say that person has served its purpose. But it's like, if you do that and then you keep letting that person trigger that part of you, then you the issue. Because it's like, why do you keep letting them do that? And half of the time you know why. Half of the time you know why. Whether it's a mother wound, whether it's a father wound, whether it's because you have abandonment issues, whether it's because you have something deeply tied to this person that you just aren't aware of. It's always a reason, baby. It's always a reason. I will say, it's always a reason. So whether you decide to stay after you figure out what that reason is, that's on you. But I just feel like that just shows you how much you love yourself. And you have to ask yourself, when you going through these situations, do you love yourself? If so, how much do you love yourself? Because I had to be like that. I looked at me and I was like, Indy, I love you so much, and I'm sorry I'm doing this to you, and I'm gonna stop right this second. I'm making you cry. Because at that point, you making yourself cry. You gotta be like, I'm making you cry. I'm making you sad. I'm making you question yourself. I'm making you question your self-worth. I'm making you, you know what I'm saying? I put all your value, your self-worth on this person that doesn't even know themselves. It's very cute. I'm just gonna go one too. It's like, I like trying out like what combinations will work with my edges, because I don't have perm edges, y'all. Like, these bitches curl. So this is like my tried and true. But it's like, when it's hot, first of all, that's any edge control, at least for me. When it's hot, like if I'm doing it like and it's warm in here, it's gonna start melting at like 2.3. So I do my edges either when it's real cold, or I gotta use something like this and like this as like the base. You know what I mean? But yeah, and y'all, I don't make these videos to be mean. I don't make these videos to like try to shame the next woman for being like any type of way, because I don't just talk about relationships or relationships with family, friends, however. I talk about a lot of things. I talk about money. I talk about a lot of different things. But no matter the topic of girl talk, it's always gonna be to help you. It's always gonna be to help the girls. It's always gonna be to help elevate. It's always gonna be to help grow, to help evolve in any way, shape, or form you can. Because whether you take it today, whether you take it tomorrow, whether you take it a month from now, the more we talk about it, the more you go identify with yourself. And that's just the goal, because I feel like way too many times I wish I had a big sister or some type of role model that I could just talk to, or that could give me advice on anything, because I didn't have that. Like literally, I didn't have that. Me and my mama, we didn't have that relationship. I didn't have like no big sister. I am the big sister. I didn't have no really anything. And all these lessons I just had to learn on my own. I had to learn by myself. I had to learn from experience and, you know, just watching people like me talk and give me advice on things that I didn't even know I needed advice on, or things that I probably did that I was aware of, but I wasn't aware how deep it went or what it related to. And it helped me so much. So I just hope that I can help the next girl that's going through something that she probably can't talk about with nobody around her. Whether it's getting over somebody, whether it's getting out of emotional discomfort, whether it's trying to elevate yourself mentally, whether it's trying to discover your spirituality or you on a new spiritual journey, whether it's trying to figure out what your next money move is, whether it's trying to figure out what your relationship to money is, whether it's trying to figure out how to move or credit or this, that, and the third. Like, whether it's anything, I'm gonna do my best to educate y'all on all that I know and pass my knowledge on. Because I feel like it's always best to go to somebody who know more than you about a topic, any topic. And I just feel like before you can unlock anything financially, before you can unlock anything spiritually, even, you gotta go within emotionally. Because all the time, that money blockage, that deep interpersonal relationship blockage, why you attracting all these different people, why you got so many broke people around you, why you got so many negative people around you, why you got so many just energy vampires around you, is because it's something within you that you need to work on, that you need to fix, and fix it fast and fix it quick. And that, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of times it don't be no quick fix. It should take work. And that's why I say a lot of people not gonna relate, or a lot of people just don't want to do the work because they just feel like, oh, that's too much work. Oh, how long is this gonna take? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. Oh, motherfucker, especially when it comes to like, if I'm giving advice on fitness, because even right now I'm on my personal fitness journey and I'm going through it, and I'm just, you know, I just go with the motions, and I do what I do. I take it one day at a time, because you asking how long it's gonna take is basically giving you a crutch to fall off on. Whether it's spiritual, whether it's physical, whether it's monetary, anything, you asking how long it's gonna take, basically telling me that you want to stop at some point. And if you plan on stopping, ain't no point in starting. You know what I mean? Like, you trying to wait how long you get to a certain point for what? You gonna get there when you get there, and ain't like you gonna stop when you get there, is you? Or you feel like once you get to that certain point, you can be able to get this or get that just because that was somebody else's circumstance, when your circumstance might be better. So you just gotta really go within. Like that, when I say go within, I really mean go within, bro. Like, because nothing is outside of you. Nothing is outside of you, whether it's money, whether it's the relationships you have with your mama, your dad, your brother, your sister, anything. Nothing is outside of you. All that, you gotta like go from within. And that doesn't mean necessarily that those relationships or anything that, my bad, y'all, my camera fell. But as I was saying, that doesn't mean necessarily any of those relationships gonna get better, because like I said, you can't, it's all within you, but that doesn't mean that you can control everybody with your energy, your actions, or any of that. That just means that when they trigger you, or anything that they say, or anything that they try to project onto you doesn't do nothing but bounce off. That's all that means. So once you get to that point, it's like, okay, I'm so good within myself. I'm so good within myself. And the work is never done. You constantly working on yourself. You constantly bringing these things out, because you experiencing life. You experiencing a new version of you every day. So it's just life. But when you going through these motions and you're experiencing these things, you gotta ask yourself how you feel, how this make you feel, and then at what point are you okay with these things and going through these. It's like, since you can't control these people, since you can't control what their actions and how they move with you, you gotta be so good within yourself that it doesn't affect you. So when you are able to remove yourself physically, it doesn't take a strain on you, or you can do so with grace. You can do so calmly. You can do so with the utmost confidence, because none of that outside is phasing you, because you done so much work within that nothing outside of you matters. Nothing outside of you is important. All you see is everything in your bubble. This was a good girl talk. I fuck with y'all. I just want to say, I like this right here. We right here. And when I say like anything, any feedback, any questions, anything you want me to clarify in the comment section, please do, because I'm open. I'm open. I'm open. I hope you took something from this video. In any shape, form, or fashion, even if you're not ready to accept it now, save it, accept it a month from now. Save it, accept it 2 months from now. You might need a year, and that's okay. You on your own time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe so you can keep up with girl talks, because I post as frequently as I can. I try to go to like, you know, daily. I try to do daily girl talks, but I be busy, y'all. I be having stuff going on. I'm a busy girl. I'm a busy girl. You know, we getting busy. We getting busy, and we love that for me. But I try to post as often as I can. So every day, every other day, just keep the post notifications on and subscribe so you get the notifications for when we do have girl talk. Because once you get that message, when you get that message to tune in, girl, it's time for girl talk, you need to be clicking on it right then and there. I don't care if you on a flight. I don't care, like, if you on flight, if you on break, if you feel at work, save it. Save it for later. Screenshot it. I don't know. Save it for later. Maybe watch it when you go home, when you about to go home and you about to watch TV and eat your chips and eat your queso dip with your enchiladas, quesadillas. Save it for when you about to do that. But until next time, till next girl talk, y'all.